Hello, welcome to Buckmore Park.
Strategising, chaps.
Little break.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get some.
So looking to see how we're going to win these. I don't think we'll be getting our grubby mitts on any of those. There he is, Antonio Giovinazzi.
That's me.
Best looking teammate.
So there we are. We are here for the Club 100 opener, opportunity to have a blast around. You're having a look at some footage now of practice, but really importantly, it's an opportunity to try the new tyres, and let me tell you, they are different. I'll talk more about it, just going through a little bit of practice now. I very bravely let Antonio Gitsonio, the faster and better looking version of Antonio Giovinazzi, let him go out and warm the kart up for me first. We're going for the race start here, so I'll talk to you about how I found the practice just a little bit, in just a few minutes time. But let's go for the start. We're starting 13th, so this is our grid start further up, and watch this. Oh, terrible start. So Antonio's in the kart, and he took a massive hit from behind there. No chance of saving it. You can see just how fast the rear broke away after he took a hit. I don't think anyone's really sure what happened there, but round about sort of 20 to 25 karts behind. I don't know if someone missed their braking zone or something like that, but it was absolute carnage. And as we dive down the hill, look to your left here. That's poor old Andrew Neil, who's got literally half of the bumper coming off his kart. Driver ahead of us there, just making that hand gesture. He wants the race to be restarted. He's calling for a false start. That would benefit us. But as we are rounding Cafe Curve, you can see there that just a few penalties going out. Kart number 2 there, but no false start flag. So we've got it all to do. Poor old Antonio's got it all to do, should I say, actually. I tell you what, though, it's a pleasure to watch Antonio drive this car. He's got a really nice, smooth style. As we race down the hill now for the second time, we've got some outboard footage courtesy of Aidan Fallon. Thank you to Aidan Fallon, who took some great shots. And you can see how many people Antonio's got to deal with. There he is, just at the back, just gone through. There he is. Down the hill. Lee Henderson ahead of us now. Lee is a very fast driver. He's not going to be easy to get through, but surprise, Antonio's done 2 in Garda corner there, so very, very good work from him. Now obviously we're going to be a little bit slower coming up the hill now as a result of the less than ideal line that Antonio took whilst taking 2 drivers, but we've got people up ahead battling, and we're good on the brakes. Have a look at this. Oh, look at that. Great control in the braking zone there, and look how much time Antonio's managed to claw back. We're right up behind Woodsy now. If you've got the name on the back of your overalls, then I'll use your name. That's the rule. Beautiful line down Simon Sweep. Just having a look up the inside, but quite early on, realising that we're not going to get the job done just there. Not enough space, so very sensibly backing out, and up the hill to fight for another day. So yeah, up a few positions already. Now we were sort of almost, I guess, dead last, but when I was in the pit lane, I saw a load of people having to pit for damage, actually, as Woodsy goes up the inside, the driver in the red suit. We're going to follow through, and again, beautiful move on the brakes there. We didn't smash into the side of Woodsy in an uncontrollable fireball. Just skipping forward a few laps now, and you can see there that it looks like there's a couple of drivers who might have come together there. Driver in front of us with the white helmet's got his hand up. He's going into to pit early on, so I don't know if he had any damage as a result of whatever happened ahead of us. It happened just a little bit too far ahead of us for us to see. But again, a couple more positions gained there. We're going to skip it forward again now, whilst Antonio puts some consistent laps in. Again, we've got more yellow flags. 2 drivers who have come together. Another one going into the pits. So more positions gained. And, really at this stage, Antonio's pace is very good. And all he's doing is he's driving the race like an endurance race should be driven. He's not getting into any scrapes that he doesn't need to. Woodsy and friends up ahead of us are quick. They're not holding us up, so we're not going to battle them. We're not going to throw moves up the inside unless we really need to. We're going to let other people do that for us. There we are, and there's a move made there. Unfortunately, we can't quite get through, but ahead of us now is Lawrence. Now Lawrence is a very experienced, very fast C2 driver from the sprint, so he's not going to be easy to get past, but good to benchmark ourselves there. Have we got pace in the car? We know Antonio's good on the brakes. What can he do? Oh, lovely, look at that. And again, doesn't bother the back of Woodsy, our friend up ahead. We're not going to smash into him. Beautifully judged move there on what is who is a very quick driver. Lawrence is not an easy guy to do on the brakes. He's very, very quick. So, good move there. And again, clawed all that time back again straight away. He's very good down the hill. When I get in for my stint, you're instantly going to see some much sloppier driving, I'm afraid. Particularly as I get used to the conditions and the new tyres. That flag you saw just there, the black flag with the orange in the middle of it, that means, as it all kicks off again, just up ahead of us, that means mechanical. So whoever got that flag, as we just look up the inside of Andy Hicks there now. Andy Hicks is our sister team. So we are Mango Motorsport. Andy is driving Mango Propeller Motorsport. There it is. So we don't want to take each other out. We're going to try and work together if we can. Andy, also a very, very quick driver. He finished runner-up. Oh, and Lawrence has done this. Lawrence has come back up the inside. But Andy came runner-up in the C3 Championship last year, so he's got a great big piece of silverware to his name already early on in his career. We get a great drive and great slipstream behind Lawrence though, and instantly Antonio comes straight back at him. And again, look how good we are on the brakes. Not letting Andy get away there, not letting the guys in front of him. We don't want our friend Woodsy getting away too far either. We've enjoyed watching the back of him, and we want to continue to admire his rear bumper if fate will let us. Beautiful line down there, and actually Andy as well. Really, really nice. Nicely getting the cart nicely turned and getting the cart straight so we can get on the power very quickly down at the bottom of the hill there. So just while we're having a look at the very fast Mr. Hicks, what are the tyres like? Well, if you saw my side by side, you'll already know the answer to this. So if you haven't, please do have a look. Oh, we're just going to go up the inside. Antonio getting another one on the brakes into hairpin one, but Andy, experienced guy, comes back at us. There we are. I'll finish my point about tyres in a minute. And we lose a place to Lawrence as well, so we're going to have to go down. Simon Sweep again, very, very fast area there. Good momentum here, and oh no! Oh, we just come together with Lawrence, and Lawrence has turned around, so really unfortunate one there. Poor old Lawrence, like I say, turned around there. Not ideal for anyone. We've obviously lost a load of time as well doing that. Didn't get a penalty for that actually, so I think maybe a little bit of good luck on our way on that one as well. But yeah, sorry, tyres. Way more grip. I was absolutely exhausted doing this race. I know it's been Christmas, and I have been overindulging myself. Antonio just getting into a battle with this guy. Now they're going to go side by side through the S's here. Very respectful driving. No one putting anyone in the barriers. Lovely move there. Antonio still really, really hot down this part of the track. Really, really good. And that driver, can you see he's got again his bumpers coming off. So he's been in the wars. Antonio back up the inside into Garda. Lovely move. Looks like we're going to go defensive here, and the reason for it is this guy just squeezes past on the outside. He taps his helmet to say, follow me. Let's go forward. Let's catch the guys in front. Let's not battle. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So again, look at that. Look how much time is made up, and Antonio gets the nose turned. Really, really nice. People are going to start thinking I'm Antonio's manager in a minute if I say any more nice things about him. But he's done really, really well, battling through the field. Now, obviously, regarding positions, someone else facing the wrong way. That is a terrifying place to be facing the wrong way. Marshall's obviously just having put those blocks back. Those blocks earned their money today. They took a beating. Poor old block. Who would be a block, eh? Maybe it's karma. Maybe they were bad people in previous lives and they've come back as a block, doing track limits at Buckmore Park. We just make it through on the back marker, and the driver in the blue just gets caught up slightly, just gets held up ever so slightly, and Antonio's there to make the move. So yeah, again, really, really good moves there. You know, Antonio, I think, fought where he needed to fight, and didn't fight where he needs to fight as well. You know, this is an endurance race. It's a 1 hour race. Guy comes out the pits on cold tyres there. Can we do anything about him? We're going to be in his slipstream. The benefit, or the best thing you can do in an endurance race, this is going to sound really stupid as we go up the inside out of the slipstream. The best thing you can do is get the shortest possible race time. And what I mean by that is there's no, we're going to call Antonio in now. Antonio's stint's going to come to an end. But bear with me on this point. Your average lap time, what I mean by this, your average lap time is more important than your fastest lap time. So, it's fine to get the fastest lap in the race, but if you spend the rest of the race, one lap maybe you're the fastest, but the rest of the time you're slower because you're battling with people, you're not going to win. So Antonio dives into the pit lane here. We know he's good on the brakes. We're going to take absolutely everything from the grip, or the available grip, so you can see how much time we've made up. And we're going to box here now. Tim Williams and myself are boxing at exactly the same time. Now, I am unfortunately a little bit shorter than Antonio, so a pedal adjustment needs making. Great stint there from Antonio. I think I can't remember how many places he made up, but it was a lot. We were almost last when we came out, and we are very much not last. How's your rejoin, sir? There we are. Managed to make it in without taking anyone off. So yeah, really, really good job from there. He scythed his way back through the field, and gave me every opportunity to try and salvage a result. Now, like I say, we exited the pit lane just behind Tim Williams. Now, Tim Williams is another very experienced C2 sprints driver. He's been up on the podium I don't know how many times, but he's definitely not adverse to taking a little bit of Club 100 silverware in the C2 division. So my aim now is, if I can keep seeing him, if I can keep him in sight, then I'll know that my pace is not too bad. As we've got a driver just exiting the pit lane there, points us through. Thank you very much, sir. Very gentlemanly. So Tim is a few ahead, and he's my benchmark. If I can stick with him, then I'll know that we'll probably be doing okay. So just going to fast forward it a couple of laps. As you can see there, Tim is two ahead of. Well, sorry, he's one ahead of it. No, he's two ahead of us. That's what I mean. We've got Craddock. Again, someone with a name on their back of their overalls. We've got Craddock one ahead of us, and Tim is two ahead of us. So we've been able for the first 3-4 laps to keep Tim in sight. So I'm pretty pleased with this at the moment, because after I went out in practice, the first thing I did was spin it in hairpin 2. The second thing I did a lap later was spin it in hairpin 1. So I did say I'd come back to my tyres point. Definitely more grip. Have a look at my side-by-side. My lap time today was 2 seconds faster than my lap time the last time we were here in November. So loads more grip. But I would say, and I think most people were thinking this, there's loads more grip on the front and perhaps a little bit less, or maybe not less grip, but comparatively less grip on the rear. So the rear was sort of yielding less grip than the front, so the kart felt very on the nose. But by this time of the day, I was feeling like I'd sort of made the adjustment a little bit, and sticking with Tim and actually this group, all of whom were pretty quick, as Craddock just gets it wrong, gives us an opportunity to stick our nose up the inside, and we're going to do him on the brakes there as well. We're going to have to make sure that we hog the inside line into hairpin 2. And there it is, job done. Craddock wouldn't have been an easy person to get past. Very, very quick. But fortunately, we were just in the right place at the right time there. Feeling much more confident and seeing these guys in front of me not just disappear. I'm feeling much better about myself and life in general. Oh no, we lose a place there. I think that's NU Motorsport. We're not going to. He gives us a wave. Hello. We're not going to worry too much about that. This guy was really quick. The problem with endurance racing. Well, it's not really a problem, actually. It's just the challenge, I should say. The challenge of endurance racing is you don't really know who you're racing against. You don't know. It was fairly obvious to me quite early on that this guy was going to be pretty quick and possibly not someone I was going to stick with forever. So no point in fighting him, particularly when he's driving away from me. Obviously I'd love to be fighting him, but. Not really an option if he's driving away into the distance, so really, and particularly at this stage, I'm doing the second stint. I don't know who's around. He has just cleared the way nicely for us, though. So thank you to him. Commiserations to the other guy who lost a place to us as a result of that. But good for us. You see, just at the top end of the circuit into turn 1, we get amazing slipstream, and I'm almost half thinking about a move coming back. But last time round, it was clear that he did have a reasonable amount more pace than us, and like I said, I strongly suspect that our battle is not going to be with him today. I'm just really interested, particularly when we do things like that, losing the rear, wayward. Look at that, horrible. Particularly when we've got other people who we are probably going to be more in line with, particularly like Mrs. Tim Williams. Now I don't know if he. I don't know if we're almost like it could be that we're a lap behind. Could be that we are fighting for position. I just don't know. But it's all about to kick off again, and this is going to be one of the more eye-opening moments. There we are. NU Motorsport puts a move on Tim. So now it's Tim and I. Just sort of nose to tail here, and we're going to see if we can keep pace with him. But we've got a guy just here now. He doesn't fight the two in front too hard, and unfortunately we just get separated. We want to try and stay with Tim and NU Motorsport, although like I said, that's going to be easier said than done. But he's looking behind, so he is aware, and he's a little bit wide on the exit. So I think we've got a chance here. We're going to go down the inside, snatch the apex early. Now we're going to leave space for him on the outside. He's still there. We're going to come back, and we've got the drive here. And he turns around and he sees us, and watch this. Oh! Smashy. I'm going through these GoPros. Here it is in slow motion, because that all happened really quickly. We get the cut back. He turns around. He looks at us. He sees us there. Now, I fully accept I wasn't entirely alongside. I actually thought I got loaded into him here. But if you just have a look at his line, he turns in a little bit earlier than I was expecting. And as he turns in, the front of my cart gets lifted over his rear wheel. And at this point, I'm trying to back out. Really trying to back out, but absolute passenger at this point. At the time, I thought someone was loading me into the back of him because I just wasn't slowing down. But looking back at it, our bumpers were caught together, and I went up and into that barrier. At the time, I mean, tell me what you think about this. I know that racing through the S's is a little bit controversial. But I think, as we've seen already in the footage, it can be done if both drivers are sort of respectful. I don't know whether I was getting hit from behind or whether it was all just down to our bumpers getting caught. But I was trying to back out there when I realised that he wasn't going to give us any room on the inside. But an unfortunate one that. I did manage to get the GoPro back though, and I'm starting this race. So now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to to tell or show you what happened, but I'll talk about that in a few moments. So this is me starting heat 2. Look at the guy in blue. Whee! Oh dear. So a few places gained there. Someone else on the outside getting shoved wide. We go conservative into hairpin 1, and a whole host of people get it wrong. We're going to take the inside into hairpin 2, and again just pick up a couple more places. I'll lose one again though, but we're up many places. This is going really well so far. I'm really pleased with how this first heat's gone. This first lap has gone. Second race, of course. We go defensive on the way in, or not, defensive. We go conservative. That's what I meant. And get the cut back on the way out. Now it's side by side. Who are we going to follow? We're going to follow the guy on the outside. That's where the space is. Just go a little bit wide. But unfortunately, that flag there means we are going to have another go at this. Too many people crashed, and as a result of that, we need to restart the race. We're going to have another go. So a few laps go past where we try to get back into position, and we are back into position again. So can I recreate that excellent first lap from last time? Well, let's have a look. Let's see if we're going to be a little bit better behaved this time. No, probably not actually. Tyre smoke coming up there. Guy in the orange helmet gets really sideways. Guy in the other orange helmet puts a squeeze on him. We just get sandwiched there, and we're going to get sandwiched again here, and then the guy on the outside, nowhere to go. We have nowhere to go, and we end up on the grass. Our momentum carries us back onto the circuit, but look how much slide we've got, and we are second to last. So really disappointing. It doesn't really matter, of course. It's not a championship race, but we've had 2 starts now which have been absolutely disastrous. Oh, actually no. So, look at those bollards again. They've not just been tapped; they have been shoved to the side of the venue. I told you they earned their money that day. But yeah, really unfortunate. I'm sort of half hoping as we come round we're going to have another go at the start, but we're not. So super disappointing. I think we got up to about 9th place on that first start, and now we're back down to about 36th. Pike just locks up, and I think he puts the driver in the red suit off there. The driver in the red suit very fairly gives plenty of room to make sure that Pike doesn't clear into the side of him, smash into the side of him. We're able to take advantage of that, but loads of work to do again, we've certainly got it all to do. So whilst we are doing some of this work, we're going to have I'm just going to take you through what happened now, after my GoPro was smashed off. We were able to stick with the group that you saw us following, and as a group we sort of managed to make our way through a reasonable number of drivers, and I think I'm right in saying that we were about P10 overall by the second to last lap, and that was, I also believe, P3 in class. So really decent result up until the final lap. And on the final lap, it was all kicking off into Garda. We were about, I wasn't at this stage, I was behind these people. I'm just going to go through, we're going to go past all these guys. I don't know what happened up ahead there, but I was able to just at this part of the track here, as Mustard there is not very happy, just here, the drivers in front of me, they were about 4 or 5 wide. It all kicked off, and as I was trying to pick my way through, took a big old hit on the rear, turned around, they all recovered, and we lost I don't know how many places, but it was at least 2 places in class. So we went from 3rd in class to 5th in class, which is a bit of a shame. Again, a little bit more bad luck, unfortunately. But that's just the way it goes. The way I see it, hopefully we're using, Antonio and I, we're using up most of our bad luck now, and actually the bad luck is not yet over. So there's a little bit more to come. We're just going to follow Mustard through here. We're just going to push him through on this back marker, but he just gets a little bit wide, just loses the rear slightly. I'm not sure whether I caused that or not. I was sort of pushing him quite a long way before the corner there, just to make sure he got through and we could follow him through, and then he seemed to lose it. I obviously don't feel bad enough to give the place back. Didn't get a penalty for it either. But like I say, I'm not a driver who likes to make any contact at all if I can help it. But no problem with pushing someone through if we can make some progress. Now, like I said a moment ago, the bad luck is not over, is it? And certainly so far in this heat, I've got absolutely no reason to believe that this kart has got any problems at all. Feels handling wise absolutely fine. Well, feels very similar to the last one. Club 100 have spent the winter totally kind of what's the word? Renovating the kart fleet. We're up side by side again, but again we back out. So again, it is possible to back out if you're not confident you're going to be given the space. That's what I was trying to do in race 1 there, but obviously couldn't, either due to loading or due to pulling, I suppose, pulling the bumper being pulled upwards and forwards. So Club 100, replaced absolutely loads of stuff on these karts. They feel really, really nice. But we're going to make a little bit more progress. Actually, we've got a few more laps of progress to be making. However, our progress does begin to stall. Now, I'm just going to talk very quickly about lap times. I've already mentioned that the lap times were much quicker, and I'm putting it down to possibly improvements in the karts overall as a result of the maintenance, but also the new tyres. My best lap time in race 1 was a 46.01. So I have to admit, I was absolutely ecstatic with that lap time, because the fastest all day. We haven't been the fastest all day. It was actually the fastest in race 1. Sorry, what I mean is the fastest lap of the day was in race 1. That was a 45.74. To put it into perspective, the people who we're up against, we've got Anwar Burrell-Smith, champion of multiple classes. He won everything last year. We've got Fraser Brunton. We've got Dante Dillon here. We've got Sam Lovelace. We've got some really, really superhuman guys. The sorts of guys, as we just go side by side through there again with Lee, the sort of guys who turn up and you just look at them and you think, how are you getting that lap time out? And last season, the closest I got to any of the fastest laps was actually at Lid. I got within 0.6, but everywhere else I was about 0.9 off the fastest lap time in the heavyweight sprints. So to be sort of about 3 to, well, it's actually 2.6, 0.2. 2 0.2 off, or just over 2.5 off the fastest, is something that I'm really ecstatic about. So even though we have had a reasonable amount of bad luck today, the main thing for me is the excellent pace. But in this kart, I was between 1 and eventually 3 seconds slower. So the problems initially start when we are driving up the front straight, up the main straight, so up this bit here, and I thought it was a problem with the engine actually. Now that turns out that not to be the case. Now it's not an issue just yet. As you can see here, we are in Lee Henderson's slipstream. We get some really good actually, in fact, we just tap him there. We've got the inside line, but we're not going to go for it actually, because we wouldn't have been in the position to overtake Lee had we not made that or given them that little kiss on the rear. So we're not going to fight that one. We'll have another go, see if we can do it cleanly. Sorry about that, Lee, if you're watching. People started just overtaking me on the straights, and I was thinking, this is an engine problem. Now I didn't want to bring it in. If you bring it in, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of, as I'm sort of making all kinds of mess here. There's Mustard back again. He's taken all this dithering has given Mustard an opportunity to get through. He's pretty quick actually, Mustard, so maybe we can stick with him, unless of course he loses the rear and we're able to get through again. So you bring the car in now. You're not basically normally if you bring it in because it's got crash damage, then the mechanics will fix the crash damage. They will not put you in another kart. So if you bring it in, you're definitely going to lose a ton of time. Now, if it's a mechanical issue, you can change the kart. However, before that happens, Nicky Richardson who's the Club 100 test driver, he will take the kart off you. He will do a lap or two in it, and he will assess whether there is a mechanical issue or not. And that's what we did, actually. I finished my stint, handed it over to Antonio. I was a little bit worried, actually, that Antonio was going to go out and blast around the fastest lap of the race, and it was just going to be me who wasn't getting a good lap time out of it. But no, Antonio brought it back in pretty quickly, actually, because let me tell you what the problem was. As we just make a move, we've made a move on Lee there, and we've moved to I think that's Sam Morris that we've just got through, and now we're just behind Scott Parker, who's another Mango. This is the Mango team's line astern. What had happened was the brake disc was rubbing. It was metal on metal, and what wasn't happening, the engine was, I can't imagine the engine was particularly happy after this stint, but essentially the engine was running okay, but the brakes were on, and unfortunately the SD card is going to fill up before I can show you, but there are people just flying past. It was getting dangerous, and by the time I handed the kart over to Antonio, the brakes were absolutely cooked as well. So not only did Antonio have a kart which had its brakes on the straights, but when he got to the corners, the brakes were all overheated and gone, and he couldn't slow the bloody thing down. So Antonio brought it in very quickly. Nicky went out and had a go. Very quickly came back in again, gave his diagnosis, which he wrote on the tyre. I will put a picture of that at the end of this footage. Safe to say that kart was no more, and it needs fixing. I don't think I think the only way that would happen is crash damage. We're beginning, can you see here, we're beginning to lose pace now, beginning to lose time to Scott. Sam Morris has just got past us as well. We're going to start going backwards from here, but there's not that much footage left, I'm afraid. I don't think it was as a result of the crash damage that we had at the start of our first heat. I mean, it was really not very much contact. We just had nowhere to go and just got sort of gently eased off onto the grass. But the first race, there was loads of contact, and actually someone came in with a totally bent rear axle, as well as other people coming in with bumpers hanging off and things like that. And I suspect that this might have been crash damage that caused the issues with this kart. So unfortunately, even though we had an absolutely stellar time, the pace was there. Really good experience as well. I have to say, it was a really, really good day. Really fantastic to see everyone in the Club 100 paddock again. If you're thinking about doing Club 100, I'd really urge you to come and have a go. Quality of driving very, very high. Sometimes a bit aggressive. as JV, we all had to come round for a big old bollocking from JV, because it's not normally like this. I'd say even in the sprints, the amount of crash damage to the karts in race one was pretty extreme. Like I say, not normally like that at all. JV and the team spent a lot of time improving the karts for us. And no one does this on purpose. No one I think purposely gets into contact or drives people off the track or does anything dangerous. Here's Nicky's analysis. I'll let you read that. No brakes and bent, and he says something else there as well. That's my fastest time. There you are. That's proof. And then, like I say, unfortunately, the SD card has filled up. So I'm just going to leave you now with some footage of this is testing. Actually, this is me going around. I was busy collecting my cone warnings and track limit warnings in testing. Managed to not pick up any during the course, and Antonio as well. We didn't pick up any penalties or warnings or anything during the race. So like I say, I think possibly the amount of damage is done maybe due to a bit of rustiness on part of the drivers. Certainly the kart handling characteristics are slightly different as well now, so people just needed a little bit of time to adjust to that. But by race 2, the driving was a very, very high standard. This is a little bit of footage after the GoPro had been ripped off the front of the bumper. So yeah, thank you very much again to Aidan Fallon. Interesting shot this, isn't it? You can see how much undulation there is at Buckmore Park. It's not really obvious from the onboards a lot of the time. And here you've got, in just a moment, Antonio coming down. This is some of my footage. Looking at Antonio carving his way through the field. So well done to him, well done to everyone, and thank you ever so much for watching. If you like what you see, please consider like and subscribe. It really motivates me, and I'll get the videos out, pumping them out, doing all the sprints this year. So thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in a month at the same venue for the heats, the sprints. Thank you. See you then.